Spider-Man 2 is getting a new update this March, and it's set to bring a ton of new content and improvements to the already impressive PlayStation 5 game. With this new update's release date scheduled for March 7th of 2024, players can look forward to experiencing new suits, a new Game Plus mode finally coming to the game, and several enhancements aimed at improving the overall gameplay experience. In this video, I'm also gonna dive into some of the leaks that have been coming out over the past few months about the possible story DLC that could be coming to Spider-Man 2. Before we get into all of this exciting news about Spider-Man 2, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel to stay up to date with all the latest gaming news. One big highlight of the upcoming update is the introduction of new suit styles, particularly for several of Peter's symbiote story suits that will be included in this update. In addition to these, both Peter Parker and Miles Morales will have the Hellfire Gala Spider-Man suits available to them, adding a touch of elegance to their heroic adventures. A significant collaboration between Gameheads, Insomniac Games, and Marvel Games has taken place, and it will also see the debut of two new Spider-Man suits to the game. Gameheads is known for its educational programs aimed at supporting low-income and underrepresented students, and they will benefit from the proceeds of the Fly and Fresh suit pack purchases, with PlayStation committing up to $1 million in Fly and Fresh suit pack purchases to Gameheads. This update will also introduce an action figure mode and stickers to the already existing photo mode in Spider-Man 2, catering to the collectible action figures significant in comic book fandom. This edition of Spider-Man 2 is set to enrich the creative possibilities within the game, allowing players to capture and share their moments as Spider-Man with even more flair. This update that's releasing in March will also include features to make Marvel's Spider-Man 2 more accessible to a wider audience. The update will incorporate audio descriptions and a screen radar feature. These enhancements to the game underscore Insomniac Games' commitment to accessibility, ensuring that more players can enjoy the immersive experience Spider-Man 2 offers. This update also plans to bring the introduction of the new Game Plus mode finally, and this is a much anticipated feature of this update, and one feature that many players out there have thought should have been in the game at launch. New Game Plus mode was always planned to release after launch, but it was initially slated for release by the end of 2023. This mode was delayed to a future update and required additional testing to meet Insomniac's quality standards. This new Game Plus mode in Spider-Man 2 will allow players to revisit the game with all the upgrades and unlocks from their previous playthroughs, adding a new layer of depth and replayability to the game. I know for myself there's still some achievements out there that I need to go finish to get the Platinum Trophy for Spider-Man 2, and with New Game Plus mode that just gives me another reason to jump back into the game. As the March 7th release date quickly approaches, anticipation for the new features and content for this game grows among the Spider-Man 2 community. Marvel Spider-Man 2's March update promises to enrich the game with new content, enhanced features, and improve accessibility to the game. The collaboration with Gameheads highlights the gaming community's power to support meaningful causes while providing players with fresh content to explore. As players prepare to don new suits and dive back into the game with New Game Plus mode, the update marks another milestone in the ongoing success of Marvel's Spider-Man 2. Now let's move on and talk about some of the rumored and leaked DLC story content that could be coming to the game. Marvel's Spider-Man 2, the sequel to the critically acclaimed Spider-Man game by Insomniac Games, has been a major hit since its release. Following a recent leak, there's now speculation about upcoming downloadable content featuring the Beetle, a classic adversary of Spider-Man from the comics. Discovered by a Twitter user and further discussed across various gaming forums, these files hint at new missions, enemies, and a boss battle centered around the Beetle. This character has had several encounters with Spider-Man across the different comic book series and could bring a fresh challenge to players with this new content. Despite the excitement surrounding this leak, there's still uncertainty about whether this Beetle DLC will ever materialize, so all of this DLC talk should definitely be taken with a giant grain of salt. The files that were seen in the leaks could be outdated at this point, and the recent hack at Insomniac Games might have forced the studio to alter the company's plans for future content additions to Spider-Man 2. Insomniac Games has yet to confirm or deny the specifics of their DLC roadmap following the incident, leaving fans in suspense about what's to come for Spider-Man 2. In addition to the Beetle DLC, the leak unveiled plans for several other projects from Insomniac Games, including a Venom game slated for release in fiscal fiscal year 2025, Spider-Man 3 in fiscal year 2028, a new Ratchet & Clank game in fiscal year 2029, and an X-Men game for fiscal year 2030. These revelations highlight Insomniac Games' ambitious plans for their upcoming games, despite the challenge posed by the leaks at their company, and it looks like at this point Insomniac Games is turning into a full-on Marvel studio besides the Ratchet & Clank game, of course. Interestingly, this leak also mentioned that the studio is currently planning for 3 free DLC updates for Marvel's Spider-Man 2 throughout the course of 2024. These leaked DLC plans include the Beetle DLC like I mentioned before, and this DLC could include more missions and boss fights centered around the villain Beetle. This DLC is expected in the first 3 months of 2024 according to this leak. But like I said before, the plans at Insomniac Games might have changed recently after this leak, and we've already almost made it through the first 3 months and March is about to start, and I have heard nothing so far about any DLC for Spider-Man 2. The second leaked DLC is titled Extreme Carnage and is expected to be released in the spring of 2024, and this update will focus on the villain Carnage with new missions and boss battles. This will be a spoiler for the ending to the Flame side questline in Spider-Man 2, so warning ahead of it, and feel free to use the timestamps down in the description to skip this part if you so please. But there was an Easter egg for Carnage at the end of the Flame side questline in Spider-Man 2. Here's the clip.
And when the crimson hour rolls over this earth, it shall bring truth, judgment, and carnage.
So obviously Insomniac Games is hinting that Carnage might be coming into the game at some point, and the third DLC that was leaked for Spider-Man 2 might be called Spider-Verse Anomaly, and it could be expected to release around the holidays of 2024. This final DLC for Spider-Man 2 might have Spider-Verse themed missions, multiple villains, and a visual filter to give the entire game a Spider-Verse themed aesthetic. This is another small spoiler for the ending of the Spider-Bot side questline, so warning ahead of that, and feel free to use the timestamps to skip this part. But at the end of the Spider-Bot's missions, you get this cutscene that is an Easter egg for the Spider-Verse. Here's the clip.
Yankee, you seeing this?
Bro, what the hell is happening?
Look at this, a spider hero. We're all saved.
Hi. Who are you?
Me? I'm just a bartender who does favors for people every now and then. And I've learned that rogue spider bots are dangerous and bad for business. Let me take those off your hands.
Whoa!
Thank you, Spider-Man. We can always count on you to do the right thing.
You're welcome?
And if Miguel comes looking for these, tell him finders keepers.
Wait, who's Miguel?
What the hell was that?
I wish I knew.
These updates suggest that Insomniac Games is taking a very different approach this time around to post-launch content compared to their previous game's paid season pass, The City That Never Sleeps. While the leaked information is yet to be officially confirmed by Insomniac Games, the prospects of facing off against the Beetle and other villains in the Marvel Spider-Man 2 game has undoubtedly excited the fanbase. These potential updates, whether free or paid, could significantly enhance the gameplay experience, offering fresh challenges and expanding the game's narrative. As we wait for official announcements, the community remains hopeful with these leaks and hope they will come to fruition, bringing more thrilling adventures to the world of Marvel Spider-Man 2. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel to stay up to date with all the latest gaming news. And if you're looking for something else to watch, click one of the videos you're seeing on screen right now for some more gaming news. I will see you there.